So welcome back to welcome back to Guru's Ashram IAS. So as I told you in the first lecture itself that we have started a special series where we are discussing half and half hour sessions of two different things. First half hour session for prelims and the next half hour session for mains analysis. Mains mein basically what we will do is we will pick an article or maybe two articles if there is a small article, because half an hour is for one article is sufficient and not too lengthy, not too short, because we find that you often get current affair videos of 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour long that bores the students and they often find it hard to entertain and as well as in grasp. So what we have decided is small bits piece which we will give you every day, both in Hindi and English as well. So this is the English part. The Hindi part has been done. If you are a Hindi viewer, you can watch that. If the English part, you can watch this one. So the mains analysis, prelims we have done. Now comes to the mains. We have squandered demographic dividend. There was an article, very beautiful one, with respect to World Bank report. So first, where you will use this content and how you will use this content. I will tell you both things. What is the content, how you will use it. It's very important to understand. Mains is different from prelims. Prelims is you need to have the knowledge and you need to know what is right, what is wrong, some permutation, combination, and you can clear prelims. Mains is not such. Mains is about art of writing. I've seen a lot of students who have the content here but they're unable to put through their hand. We need that. We need the content in your mind through your hand on the paper. That's an art. Arranging, structuring, being concise, being precise. These are different things that we have to achieve over time. So that's what we are trying to do here. Giving you precise, concise, and most importantly, relevant content. So where you will use this, you can use this article at various places, particularly in GS1 Society. You can use it in GS2 as well, in governance in particular. You can use this in GS3 as well, in particular in economics with respect to employment, unemployment, demographics, and numerous things. So there are 3 GS papers where you can use this single article. That's the beauty of mains. Mains is not isolated journey that you have to study history differently, polity. It's an integrated study. You're writing an article in GS3 on economics, and if it has some political angle, you can take something from GS2. If it has some historical angle, you can take it from GS1. That is history basically. That's how you do mains. I always suggest in mains you have to achieve few things. First, there should be more dimension, less points within dimension. Means you are writing an answer, try to dimensionize it, try to increase its dimensions. The more the dimension you can portray, the better your answer will look. Okay. I will go into that later. We will have a special session on answer writing also, live telecasted. You can watch that later. For now, let's come to the article if the basic ground has been prepared. The article is squandered demographic dividend. Squandered, as you know, not achieving what it should achieve, and demographic dividend. So it is in the context of a news, a particular report by World Bank. The World Bank has warned that South Asia, including India, is not utilizing its demographic dividend effectively. So first question that must come into your mind is, what is demographic dividend? As I told you for prelims, the terminologies are very important. Means when nobody asks. It will rarely happen UPSC will ask what is demographic dividend. It may ask, if it asks what is demographic dividend, it will ask what is demographic dividend, how it impacts Indian society, analyze this and that dramas. Okay. So please remember the term demographic dividend. Demographics basically, you know, with respect to the demography, the society, the population, the gender, sex ratio, whatever is there, that is basically demography. So demographic dividend means a demography that is yielding dividend. Dividend basically is the part of the profit that you get. In a private corporation, when a private corporation generates profit, it distributes that profit among the shareholders. That is called dividend. So same thing is demographic dividend. Means a dividend that is being driven from the demography itself. Means the younger population, the old population, the female, the male, the children, whatever is the scenario, the industrialization, the agriculture, all the demography, all the people of India working together put is demography, and whatever profit they generate is basically dividend. Okay? So let's understand the term. The demographic dividend occurs when the portion of the working age, remember this age, government considered you in a working age from 15 to 64. If you are less than 15, even if you are working in household firms, nobody consider you employed. If you are above 64, it is generally assumed you are not working. So this is the productive age of a human being, in particularly India, 15 to 64. So for a very important fact for prelims, you must know here that government considered employment range from 15 to 15 to 64. If you are in this age, 15 to 64, it means you are young, you are energetic, you can work. Okay? In population is larger than the dependent population. What is dependent population? Less than 15 and more than 60. It leads to increased productivity and economic growth. Understand this. Just for example, right now India is a very young country. 50% of Indian is less than 29 and 65% of Indian is less than 35. 65% of India means 140 crore people, 65% of 140 crore people are less than 35. India is a very young and energetic country. Problem is, when you don't use this energy for a good purpose, or I should say in right purposes, then you have a doomed destiny. We will discuss that, what the current government is doing and how I believe it is not doing what it should have, and what is the problem with this so-called drama. We will discuss few terms, but in a bit. I will not juxtapose everything together. I will try to link them, but give me a time. Okay. So for now, what we have understood, there is a report which says India is not using its demographic dividend efficiently, neither the entire Asia. We have to focus on India. What is demographic dividend? That is the dividend, the profit, the benefit that we derive from the population itself. And how it is assumed? The productive age. Productive, when I say, I am not talking about reproduction. Productive age here means the economically productive age, the age where the people can work, they can contribute to economy. So for every country, this population is gold, this population is disaster. Means if you have more elderly than young people, then you are facing a disaster. For example, Japan. China is also getting very old. Japan has more elderly than young people. It basically means that you have to feed more mouth than the hand that are working. So a country which has more working population than the population dependent on the government services is always better. That is what you call demographic dividend. If we are unable to seize, if we are unable to take advantage of this demographic dividend, then we have to face something we call demographic eco. These are two terms you must know. Demographic dividend means the benefit you derive from our demography. That particularly means if you have more people in the age of 15 to 64, but people not only by the head count but also working. Okay, you have more people in 15 to 64, but they are sitting at home, no profit. They must be working somewhere. That's demographic dividend. And demographic eco means when you have high proportion of elderlies and children vis-a-vis the working population, then you are in the face of demographic eco, the noise. Okay? These are the two terms. What is the problem? As World Bank has highlighted, and as we will also see India's problem in particular, India is expected to enjoy this window for 37 years only. Means from 2018 this window opportunity of demographic dividend started. It will last at most to 2055. As I told you, the median age means 50% of Indians are less than 29, 65% of Indians are less than 35, but they will not stay the same. Every year the average age of Indians is rising. It will rise. By 2055, if we can use these people, fine. Otherwise, you are facing a big disaster. That's why unemployment is a case. How? You can understand. If you have employment, means you have a job. So what is happening? When you have a job, you earn. When you earn, you save. That's the common sense. If you are earning 100 rupees, you try to save 10 or 20 rupees because you know you will get old one day, or there may be health emergency, other emergencies, and you know we cannot rely on government services. Sabko pata hai, if you are in an emergency health condition, you go to government hospital, you will definitely die. So we often go to private charges more. So what we do is, whenever we earn something, we save a part of it for our bad future or maybe bad present also. Okay, for any exigency, for any emergency. Imagine you have no jobs. This is the particular problem we have. There is high unemployment in India. Godi media does not talk about it. Modi government does not want to talk about it. That's a different thing. And everyone is very happy with doing Hindutva, Hindutva, Hindutva. That's a different thing. But the reality is there are a large number of Indians who are unemployed. As you will see in this report, suicide rates have increased in India. Suicide rates, and particularly among young people, particularly among unemployed, the large number of young Indians who are leaving hope of job. These things are very dangerous, because understand, right now you are young people. 65% of India is very young. Less than 35 is very young age. So this India is young. Young people get ill less. Young people basically they have better body system. But when these people will get old, if they get job today, they will save some part of their salary which they will use when they will be old. Means they can take care of themselves. But if today they do not have a job, then after an age when they will get elderly and they will not be able to work and they do not have savings as well, then they will be dependent on government services. That is what you call demographic. That is what you call demographic echo. This is the problem. India is not using its demographic dividend, and if the thing goes the way they are going, there will be a time when the government will be under intense pressure. बात समझ में, employment इसलिए जरूरी होता है. Understand, employment to a person is not only important to give you money, it is also important when you will get elderly, you will not depend on government services. If today you get a job, you will save for your bad future or when you will get elderly. But if you do not have a good job today, then you will not save. Of course, you cannot save. Then what will happen? When you will get old, the government will have to take care of you. Because you live in a democracy, government cannot allow you to die. So you will become a burden on the government. That you need to understand. Burden on the government का मतलब समझते हैं आप? That government has to borrow more. The government has to tax the people of that generation. Means if you do not have a job today, your grandchildren will work hard to pay for your health benefits. If they cannot work for that, then you have to die. Sorry to say that. That's why employment is necessary. That's why demographic dividend is necessary. And India has this window up to 2055, which they predict. I believe it will be lesser than that. Maximum, I believe it will be around 2040. Maximum. Next, as I told you, 65% of Indian is in working age group. बोला 35 से कम है. We are very young population. Next, benefit of demographic dividend. I told you. Let me summarize this entirely into a crisp sentence. As I told you, if you have a job, any job, government, private, but good paying, they can understand. Job, maybe you have to differentiate between two kind of job. There is one term we call good and one term we call bad. The problem with this government is they are filled with idiots. I don't know who is economic advisor to them. These people, I don't know they understand anything about economics or not. इतना तो मुझे भी समझ में आता है, and I'm not a pure economist. Even then I understand one thing. There's a difference between a good job and a bad job. What is good and bad job? Understand this. If you are earning 50,000, say for example, if you are earning 50,000 rupees and you are not saving even a single penny, or you are not generating assets, means you get 50,000, you consume entire 50,000. You're not saving even a penny, or you're not creating asset. Asset means anything, a home, a saving account, a FD. If you're making that, that's okay. If you're not making that, or you're contributing to pension scheme, health scheme, that's good. If you're not doing that, which majority of India does not do. Why? Because more than 90% of India is in bad jobs. Bad jobs का मतलब you have a job, you're getting paid, but that is not good enough to provide you a social security. जैसा इसमें it is in the report below, only 4% of Indians have social security. It's disastrous. I told you, like right now these people are young, and young people get ill less. So they may not be a burden on the economy. For example, you rarely get ill. Both after Corona, our immune system has gone weak. We are getting ill more. But before Corona, you may not used to get ill for 4 years, 5 years. कभी बुखार आ गया 3-4 साल में तो आ गया. But now we get ill often because of Corona. We know that. But also the reason is our mean age is increasing. The older we get, the capacity of our body to fight with pathogens, to repair ourselves decreases. We have to depend more on medical services. So for example, a person who is going 4 times, say for example in a year he goes or she goes 4 times hospital, the same person will go 5 times in next year, 5 times in next year, maybe after 10 years she may have to go 10 times. It increases exponentially, and the majority of Indians do not enjoy social security. It means they do not have savings, it means they do not have wealth. It basically means that these Indians will become demographic eco after a particular year. They will have to be dependent on government pathetic services, and then government have to provide for them. So see the logic. Either you get good jobs today. This is what I want to tell you, because this government is pathetically blamed for jobs, and they have to be. This government has the worst track record. India has the highest unemployment since independence. Nobody talks about this. We know the reason. The Godi media and political corporate nexus. We know there are two people running this country, Adani, Ambani, as they are called. Okay. There is a particular nexus that do not talk about the most critical issue, jobs. अब problem कहाँ आती है? That government often claim that we have more number of jobs. They say look at EPFO data, Employees Provident Fund data. They can look at how many people are subscribing to there. Yeah, I don't know, they are on bhang or something. Again I am repeating, having a job is not the issue. The issue here is, what we are talking about is, the issue is good jobs. हम jobs की बात नहीं कर रहे. We are not saying that you have a job. We are saying you must have a good job. If you don't have a good job means a job that has some social security and also some elderly benefits. It means you work in the job and after a particular age you can get something out of it. If you're not having such kind of job, then you are in a bad job, and majority, as I told you, 90% of Indians are in informal sector. Let's minimize this. Let's say 80. It is even a bigger figure. As I told you from this report, only 4% of Indians enjoy social security. तो बात समझ में, this is the problem we are having. This demographic dividend that we have will turn into demographic eco, and if the government does not do anything, it will be a dangerous scenario. अब बात करते हैं what government is doing and how we can see this. क्लियर है? So benefits मैंने आपको बता दिया. If more people will be in the working position, it will lead to economic productivity. You will have salary, so you will buy something. You will buy something, that something will be made by someone else. He will also have a factory. Simple सा logic है. If I get 10 rupees, I will buy something. With that, the demand will come into the market, and with demand comes supply. If I will buy something, somebody will make that something, and for making that, that person will lay a factory or something in which he will give employment. So it's a virtuous cycle. If I get 10 rupees, understand, I get 10 rupees as salary, I create at least 100 rupees demand in the economy. That's how circulation of money goes. But if I am getting nothing, then of course I will not generate any economy. That is what it is. When you get a job, a good job, it boosts economic productivity, and also over time it leads to. इस पे थोड़ा सा मेरा dispute है. I don't from traditional economics I dispute them. There is a thing that you always hear in the news, be it IMF, World Bank, anyone. They always say that less number of female participate in the economy. There should be more participation. I disagree. Completely not, but partially. Why? Because they think if a woman is not participating in economy, then they are unproductive. I disagree. भाई देखिए, I'm not saying that it is the work of the woman to work in the home, but understand, working in the home, what our mother does, the house mothers, what they do is as important as what a male do outside. दोनों ही बराबर के काम है. If a woman stays at home, take care of the home, and the man work outside, I am not trying to stereotype this. Men can also work at the home. That doesn't matter. Point here is the work, household work, is as important as the outside work. If you're going into outside and you're working in a company getting a salary, good. If you're staying at home taking care of the home, it is as important, equally important. But problem with traditional economics is we never consider a woman working at the home as a paid employee. हमारा जो GDP कैलकुलेशन होता है ना, उसमें भी the woman home work, the work at the home is not counted as a part of productive GDP. That's utterly stupid idea. Okay, please understand, both are doing important work. Of course, I believe that more females should participate in workforce, which basically means working in industries, working in service. That's good. But understand, do not minimize the importance of home work. The work at the home, anything, food and everything, is as important as working outside. Both basically assist each other. The male can do the home work also, that's a different thing. Clear? Next. ठीक है. Wage, working age population individual, so as I told you, if you have a job you will save more. Saving means you will save for your health if you get ill. I say for example have 1 lakh rupee per month a salary. I may not use 1 lakh rupees, it's too much of amount. I will spend 50,000, I will save 50,000. Say for example I will buy a car, it will generate demand for cars. I will buy a bike, it will generate demand for bike. Or I will save a part of it. When I will get ill, I will not go to a government hospital, burden government. I will go to a private hospital spending my saved money. ठीक है. तो दैट इज द थिंग, गवर्नमेंट बर्डन भी कम हो गया. तो अंडरस्टैंड, व्हेन गवर्नमेंट गिव्स यू अ जॉब इट डज नॉट डू यू अ फेवर. जैसा लगता है ना गोदी मीडिया को दैट गवर्नमेंट इज डूइंग अ फेवर. नो, व्हेन गवर्नमेंट गिव्स यू अ जॉब और प्राइवेट गिव्स यू अ जॉब, नोबडी इज डूइंग अ फेवर टू यू. दे आर टेकिंग वर्क फ्रॉम यू. यू वर्क ना, दैट्स व्हाई यू आर गेटिंग पेड. प्लस यू सेव. You have a job, you save, you don't depend on government services, you can take care of yourself. Good thing. ठीक है. Another thing, it as middle class, as I told you, if you get a job, you will buy something, it will bring demand, demand brings supply, supply brings production. So देखिए, everything here that I've told you hinge on one thing: job, employment. Self-employment or employment with somebody else, that's okay. If you are self-employed, very good. If you are employed for somebody else, so okay. Both things are okay, but employment must be there. The person shall not be unemployed, simply speaking. Clear hai? So these all are the benefits. What is the issues highlighted by the World Bank report? First, jobless growth. As you know, India, Modi ji proud over this, and I also. 2014 to 2024. India has grown twice. Indian economy, I think, is now around $3 billion. Means Indian economy, we have grown twice. If for example, India GDP was 10 rupees here, so today it is 20 rupees. I think we were the 10th largest economy in 2014. Now we are the 5th largest. Proud. ठीक है, proud. Bravo to the Modi government. They have done very good. But understand, there is a difference between growth and development. ठीक है. तो you may have a growth here from 10 to 20, you have grown twice, but this growth is not for everyone. This is the problem with Modi government. Jobless growth. Yes, we are growing at a very fast pace, but it is jobless. People do not have a job, and plus majority of this growth is coming from 1% or 10% of India. Adani Ambani's of India. This is the problem. Inequality is increasing at a rapid pace in India. Majority of Indians are worse than they were in 2014. Few Indians are well. For example, when Modi came to power, Adani was 600 something. Now he is the richest man in Asia. In 10 years, Adani has come from 600, 500 rank to richest man in Asia. भाई किसी ने कुछ तो मदद की होगी उसकी. This is the problem that is being highlighted. Growth है. We have grown from 2014 to 2024, you have grown twice, good, but GDP is the bad measure of development because this growth is skewed. It is for few people. As you can see here, this is jobless growth. Majority of Indians are worse than they were in 2014. Well, few Indians have grown too much. That's inequalities are increasing at a rapid pace. We have to take care of this. ठीक है, ऑब्वियसली बात है, मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द पीपल, लो शेयर ऑफ वुमेन एंड इन एम्प्लॉयमेंट सेक्टर. नेक्स्ट, प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टमेंट हैज स्लोड. आपको ये भी पता होगा फ्रॉम 2 or 3 years बैक द ग्रोथ इन इंडिया इज गवर्न्ड बाय पब्लिक एक्सपेंडिचर. Government of India expenditure in GDP, particularly in infrastructure. That's why remember this a fact for prelims. After agriculture, agriculture is the largest employer in India. After agriculture, second largest employer in India is infrastructure, not manufacturing. Manufacturing are good and stable jobs. Infrastructure jobs means you have a job today, may not be tomorrow. Say for example, a road is being constructed in Bihar, so the labor of Bihar will have a job, but that road will end one day. ऐसा तो नहीं कि you will keep on constructing that road forever. बिहार की बात अलग है, they can do this, but generally ऐसा होता नहीं है. So a road is being constructed in Bihar, people will get job there, but that road will end one day construction. The government will move, for example, to Madhya Pradesh. Now the Bihar people who had a job during manufacturing, during infrastructure development of Bihar is now no longer employed. This is the problem with infrastructure. It is not a sustainable long-term job. It is a job, but not a sustainable long-term, and that's the problem. If you are getting 1 lakh rupee salary, and if you know that you may or may not have a job tomorrow, even after getting 1 lakh rupee, you will not spend. and if you will not spend in the economy, it will not bring demand, and there is no demand means no production. So this is the problem we are facing. पहली problem क्या है? Jobless growth in India. दूसरी problem extreme rising inequalities. तीसरी private investment has slowed. Majorly it is driven by government and other geopolitical tension. This Ukraine war, this Hamas drama going on. This is also impacting. Pandemics आपको पता ही है how corona has impacted. ठीक है. Challenges मैंने आपको बता ही दिए. Majority of India की बहुत बुरी हालत है. Inequalities are rising. Human development में India has a very I think it is in 130 or 132 rank. ठीक है. And majority of Indians are low employability. There is a saying, India produce graduated idiots. This is also a problem. Low employability. Majority of the students coming out of the graduation in India do not have the skills to be employed, known as structural unemployment in economics. ठीक है. India's human development indexes are pathetically bad. ठीक है. And majority of the India's workforce मैंने बताया low wages, limited social security, irregular employment, informal है. Employment आज है, कल नहीं है, wages भी meager मिलती हैं. तो ये प्रॉब्लम है. और देखिए यहाँ पे भी ये बात लिखी है, इंडिया टॉप 12th रैंक में आ गया सुसाइड रेट पे. और गवर्नमेंट का खुद का डेटा है. यूथ इन इंडिया 2022 रिपोर्ट हाईलाइट्स द पॉपुलेशन शेयर ऑफ द यूथ इज स्टार्टिंग टू डिक्लाइन. ठीक है. तो दीज आर द प्रॉब्लम्स दैट आर बीइंग फेस्ड बाय द इंडियन इकोनॉमी. यू हैव टू, आई टोल्ड यू, इट्स अ वेरी गुड थिंग. यू कैन राइट ऑल सजेशन है कुछ गवर्नमेंट के सॉरी World Bank has given some suggestion. First, reduce barrier to trade. It means trade more with the world. That is not going to happen with Donald Trump in power. He's a protectionist. He will put trade barriers, tariff barriers. Second, flexible labor laws and efficient land management. Basically says it will be easier for company to hire and fire and all these dramas. Simply speaking, World Bank is doing the same stupidity it has always done. यही तो प्रॉब्लम है वर्ल्ड बैंक के साथ. ऑलवेज न्यू लिबरल. पता नहीं क्या खाते हैं लोग, इनको न्यू लिबरल के अलावा कुछ दिखता ही नहीं. मोदी गवर्नमेंट इज अ प्योरली न्यू लिबरल गवर्नमेंट. प्लीज रिमेंबर दिस. व्हाट इज न्यू लिबरल? अ गवर्नमेंट विच ऑलवेज सेज प्राइवेट प्राइवेट प्राइवेट. दैट्स व्हाई सी सिंस द मोदी गवर्नमेंट हैज कम इनटू पावर, ही हैज प्राइवेटाइज्ड एवरीथिंग. बैंकों को भी ही इज ट्राइंग टू प्राइवेटाइज, अनेबल टू डू सो, बट ही विल डू दैट वेरी सून. So this is neoliberalism. Neoliberalism depends on private. Neoliberalism simply means it's a fundamentalist philosophy which says that private shall govern everything. The government should backstep. Modi government is purely neoliberal. World Bank, which is controlled by United States of America, is also purely neoliberal. बात समझ में? तो एनीवे सजेशन इसने दिए, क्रिटिसिज्म हमने कर दिया. द क्रिटिसिज्म ऑफ वर्ल्ड बैंक सजेशन इज इट्स अ न्यूलिबरल पिल विच डज नॉट वर्क. हमने कितनी बार देखा है. ठीक है. वाई पीपल आर एंग्री, वाई डोनाल्ड ट्रंप इज इन पावर, वाई मोदी इज इन पावर, देयर आर न्यूमरस रीजन. वी विल डिस्कस दैट लेटर. बट न्यू लिबरलिज्म सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है दुनिया में. क्लियर? चलिए फाइन है. तो वी हैव डिस्कस डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड. व्हाट इज डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड? वी डिस्कस व्हाट आर द चैलेंजेस फेसिंग इंडिया इन डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड. वी डिस्कस व्हाट इज द करंट सिनेरियो ऑफ इंडिया. We discussed some suggestion by the World Bank, and we have discussed criticism of the suggestion by World Bank, which is said it is a neoliberal pill nobody wants. Clear? चलिए fine है. So this is what I wanted to discuss with you. If you want this PDF and everything, it will be available in the description. You can go there and download it. It will be available on YouTube और कहते हैं the Telegram portal or whatever, and website पे भी होगा. You can go to the institute website and find this. Clear? चलिए bye bye then. Have a nice day. We will pick another very beautiful article tomorrow. We will continue this till your exams. चलिए bye bye. Have a nice day.